What's going on, everybody? Khalipa's Tech here, coming back at you with another video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you 5 reasons to buy the BLU G91 Pro in 2021. Now, before we go into this video, I do want to remind you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps out the channel a lot. But with that being said, let's get into the video. My first reason to buy the BLU G91 Pro in 2021 is the display. This phone has a 6.7-inch LCD display with a resolution of 1080p, a PPI of 395, and an aspect ratio of 20:9. So not only is this phone significantly larger than the average phone, but you also get a really high resolution, especially for a BLU phone. I think this is the only BLU phone there is that actually has a 1080p resolution. And in comparison to other phones in the price range, sure, a lot of phones in this price range do have 1080p displays, but there are plenty that don't. Like, for example, the Samsung Galaxy A32 5G. That phone, I would say, is really close to this phone as far as price goes, and features as well, but this phone does have a higher resolution than that one, and many others for that matter, and it has a really large display in general, which is going to be good for content consumption. So if you're streaming a video, viewing photos, playing games, even reading, having a large display is going to be great for all that. And combined with the higher resolution, if you're doing any kind of content consumption, this phone will be a great choice. My second reason to buy the BLU G91 Pro in 2021 is the storage. This phone has 128 gigabytes of internal storage with microSD card expansion, and that's a real good amount of storage. If you're a power user, if you like to have all kinds of apps and videos and photos and all that stuff on your phone, you're still probably going to be completely fine without the microSD card. And if you do have lots of photos and videos, that always still is an option, but you're not really going to get much higher than 128 gigabytes. In this price range at least. That's pretty much the highest it goes until you get into the higher end phones. Sure, the Samsung Galaxy A52 5G and some others do have variants that have 256 gigabytes, but I would say those phones are a clear step up from this price range. As far as phones around this level go, 128 gigabytes is pretty much the highest. Even if you're not a power user and you don't think you're going to need all that space, it's still a good idea to have it just in case, because apps, files, the system, you name it, it's all getting larger and larger as time goes on. So it's better to have more storage than you need than to have less. My third reason to buy the BLU G91 Pro in 2021 is the design. This phone really has a nice looking design. From the hole punch camera right up here in the front, to the thin bezels, to the nice sleek design, and cool looking back. Honestly, every part of this phone looks really good, and it has a nice modern look that really doesn't feel cheap at all. If you want to make it even more modern looking, you can also change the buttons down here to gesture navigation and replace it with a bar that looks even more modern. For your information, this is what the phone looks like with gesture navigation, and in my opinion, this looks even better, giving the phone such a nice modern look. And again, the phone is really slim, so even though it has a really large display, you won't notice it too much because of the thin design, so it's still going to be really comfortable to hold in your hand and carry in your pocket since it's not very bulky. There are only a couple things I would change about the design, and it's really nitpicky stuff. I would prefer to have an in-display fingerprint scanner instead of the one back here, just because in-display fingerprint scanners really enhance the modern appearance of phones. I would also add more premium materials, like maybe a little metal around the sides or better quality glass, because the phone, while not feeling cheap at all, doesn't feel very premium because it doesn't have a lot of weight to it. But overall, I really do like the design of this phone, and if you're looking for a phone that has a nice modern look and good build quality, then this phone is going to be a great option. My fourth reason to buy the BLU G91 Pro in 2021 is the processor. This phone is getting 6 gigabytes of RAM with the MediaTek Helio G90 processor. I ran a Geekbench 5 benchmark test on the phone, and it came back with a single core score of 490 and a multi-core score of 1614. So these are some real good numbers. You're going to be able to do a lot with this phone. In fact, for that matter, there's really not a whole lot that you won't be able to do at all. Maybe if you're playing a really high-end game like Fortnite, you might not be able to play it on the highest settings. Maybe if you're editing a really large video, like a 10-minute 4K video or something like that, then it might struggle a little bit. But other than that, for more normal activities, this phone is going to be super fast. Maybe not today's flagship level fast, It's not going to be anything near the processing power of an iPhone or a high-end Samsung phone, but at the same time, if you're looking for a phone for more normal activities like browsing the web, going on social media, and even more moderately high-end activities like mobile gaming, this phone has a really powerful processor for what it is, and it'll definitely get the job done. My fifth reason to buy the BLU G91 Pro in 2021 is the battery. This phone has a 5,000 mAh battery that supports 30-watt fast charging. The fast charging is really impressive. Not even the iPhone 13 Pro Max actually supports that strong of fast charging. The only phones that really get higher than that are OnePlus's flagship phones. So that's really impressive. If you're running low on battery and you have a really powerful fast charger, you'll be able to charge it up in no time. In addition to this, the phone's battery is just big overall, so unless you're using it heavily throughout the day, you probably won't even have to charge it until the nighttime. In addition to just lasting all day, this battery is going to have a lot of longevity, so down the road, as the battery starts to degrade, which all batteries do, you can't get around that, but once this battery starts to wear out, it's still not going to be a problem nearly as quickly as a smaller battery. So as a result, you'll be able to keep this phone for a much longer time without having to replace it. Another cool thing about this phone battery wise is that it's one of the few phones that aren't flagship phones that actually supports wireless charging. The BLU G91 Pro does in fact support wireless charging up to 10 watts, so if you do have a wireless charger, then this is going to be a great feature. I personally really like to use wireless chargers in cars because I think it's so much more convenient not to have to plug the phone in every time I get in the car. But overall, this phone has such a great battery and some nice charging perks to go along with it. But those were my 5 reasons to buy the BLU G91 Pro in 2021. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you found this information useful as well. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and if you want to learn more about the phone, be sure to watch my full review of it on the channel. But that's it for this video. As always, I will see you guys in the next one.